All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are heading way up north to Hokkaido. And we're not just talking about a place on a map. We're talking about an idea, a huge, wild landscape that was shaped by these primal forces of nature and a history that makes it completely different from the rest of Japan.
And this phrase, it just perfectly captures the essence of Hokkaido. It brings up this feeling of wildness, of adventure, of a land that's still kind of revealing its secrets. So it's that spirit, the spirit of the untamed frontier that we're going to be diving into.
So, where do we even begin? Well, we've got to start at the very beginning with the literal foundation of Hokkaido's identity, the incredible geological drama that created the island in the first place.
And this is where it gets really cool. Hokkaido's entire personality was born from this epic battle between two opposing forces. On one side, you have the raw, violent power of fire, tectonic plates smashing together, forcing up mountains and setting off volcanoes everywhere. And on the other side, you have the slow, patient, grinding power of ice. Glaciers carving out valleys, and during the Ice Age, creating a land bridge to Asia that let mammoths and all sorts of other life just walk right over. So you could say that fire literally built the stage, and then ice brought the actors.
And this is the payoff for all that geological drama. That history of fire and ice is what gives Hokkaido its totally unique climate, which is the secret ingredient behind everything from its world-famous powder snow to its thousands of natural hot springs. I mean, think about it. You can literally ski down a mountain carved by an ice age, and then, in the same day, soak in a hot spring heated by that deep volcanic fire. It's amazing.
Okay, so we have this incredible natural stage. Now, let's bring on the people. Let's talk about the incredible human story that unfolded right on top of it, and the people who learned to call this very demanding landscape home. So long before anyone else set foot here, Hokkaido was the land of the Ainu people, and their entire worldview is rooted in this beautiful concept of kamae, this core belief that gods or spirits live inside everything. The animals, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, everything has a spirit. And this wasn't just some abstract idea. It was a way of life that created this deep, profound respect for the natural world. And this right here, making this a tushi cloth, is just a perfect example of that connection in action. I mean, look at this. It's this painstaking, really incredible craft, turning the inner bark of a tree into this strong, beautiful textile. Every single step shows this deep understanding of nature and a resourcefulness that just screams Ainu spirit. It's all about living with the land, not just on it.
And then, things started to change. In the late 19th century, a completely new chapter begins. The new government in Tokyo saw Hokkaido as this massive strategic frontier. So they came up with this system called the Tondenhei. They sent these soldier farmers up north with two jobs: defend the island from Russia and tame the wild land. And let me tell you, these pioneers faced unbelievable hardships, but their sheer grit laid the foundation for the modern Hokkaido we see today.
Okay, so what do you get when you mix this wild geology with centuries of human resilience? You get some of the best food on the planet. Seriously, let's dive into why they call Hokkaido Japan's kingdom of cuisine.
All right, first things first, we got to talk about what's coming out of those cold, rich seas. We're talking crab. But listen, not all crab is created equal. You got to know your crab. If you're after those giant, sweet, meaty legs, you want the red king crab, the tarabagani. If you want something more delicate, tender, and super sweet, that's the snow crab, or zuwaganai. But if you're a real foodie, the one you're looking for is the horsehair crab, the kagani. It's just packed with this dense meat and this unbelievably rich kani miso. That's the stuff inside. And trust me, it's a delicacy.
Oh, and it does not stop with crab, not even close. The sea urchin, or uni here, is absolutely legendary. And that's because they get to eat the best quality kombu kelp in the world, which makes them incredibly sweet. The scallops are huge and juicy, and of course, every autumn the salmon run brings fresh fish and those little gleaming jewels of ikura, or salmon roe. You can even try rube, which is this traditional Ainu dish of frozen salmon sashimi that just melts in your mouth. It's like tasting a piece of the island's ancient soul.
Now, this is a really important point, and it's what makes the food here so different.
See, this isn't like Kyoto, with these ancient food traditions that go back 1,000 years. Hokkaido's cuisine is young, it's scrappy. It was born out of necessity over the last century and a half. These are the dishes that settlers came up with to survive the brutally cold winters. It's literally a story of survival and innovation, served up on a plate.
A perfect example? Ramen. The three main styles are basically built for their cities. Hakodate has this light, salty shio ramen, which makes sense for a port town. Asahikuwa has a rich soy sauce ramen with this wa soup, a mix of animal and seafood broths. But Sapporo's miso ramen is the real star. And you know that thick layer of lard they put on top? That's not just for flavor. That is a genius pioneer hack to seal in the heat and keep your soup piping hot in the freezing cold.
And then you have Genghis Khan, or Jingisu Khan. It's this amazing barbecue where you grill lamb and vegetables on a special domed skillet. And there's this great local argument about the right way to eat it. Do you cook everything first and then dip it in sauce, like they do in Sapporo? Or do you marinate the meat before you grill it, Takikawa style? And get this, the name is a total red herring. It has nothing to do with Mongolia. It actually started as a clever way to use the meat from sheep they were raising for wool to make military uniforms.
Okay, so now that we've got a taste of what makes Hokkaido tick, let's pull out a map. Because this island, it is massive. And the best way to get your head around it is to break it down into 4 distinct regions.
All right, let's start in the south, in Donin. You should really think of this as the front door to the island, where mainland Japan first made its presence felt. You can still feel that history in places like Hakodate, with its insane night view and that cool star-shaped fort, and in Matsumae, which is home to the most northern castle town in all of Japan.
Heading north from there, you hit Duo, the central region. This is the island's beating heart, and it's all about contrasts here. You've got the big city energy of Sapporo and its famous snow festival, but then you have the quiet, nostalgic charm of Otaru's canals. And yeah, this is where you find the world-famous Jap Hao, that legendary powder snow in Niseko, right next to the volcanic steam vents of Naburubitsu.
Keep going north and you'll find yourself in Dohoku, where the landscapes just explode. Seriously, this is the Hokkaido of your imagination. We're talking about those postcard-perfect rolling hills of Bii that look like a patchwork quilt, and those endless fields of purple lavender and Furano in the summertime. It's just this vast, open, beautiful country that goes all the way up to Wakkanai, the northernmost tip of Japan.
And finally, we head to Doto, the wild, wild east. I'm not kidding. If you want to see Hokkaido at its most raw and untamed, this is where you go. This is a land of massive national parks, where brown bears walk the coastline of the Shirediko Peninsula, where majestic cranes dance in the Kushiro wetlands, and where, in winter, you can actually go on a cruise to see giant sheets of drift ice floating down from Siberia. It's just wild. Okay, so you've got your map. You know the regions. But here's the thing. Knowing the geography is only half the battle in Hokkaido. To really explore this place, you have to master its seasons and its roads. Look, if you remember one thing about packing for Hokkaido, it's this: layering. That is the #1 rule. The temperatures can swing like crazy, and the difference between a toasty warm building and the freezing street in winter is huge. A good down jacket and waterproof, slip-proof boots are completely non-negotiable in winter. And don't be fooled by the summer. Even with beautiful 22-degree days, you'll want a jacket for the cool evenings. Now, if you're planning on driving in the winter, listen up. You have to know about black ice burn. It's this super thin, totally invisible layer of ice on the road that looks like it's just wet, but it's incredibly slippery. The key to survival is to do everything smoothly. No sudden braking, no sharp turns, no flooring it. Double the distance between you and the car in front, and be extra careful on bridges and near tunnels, because that's where it always forms first.
And why are we even talking so much about driving? Well, because of this number right here. The distances in Hokkaido are no joke. We're talking 300, 400 kilometers between major cities. Driving from Hakodate in the south to Wakkanai in the north, that's like driving from Los Angeles to San Francisco. The distances are just immense. So renting a car really is the best way to have the freedom to explore.
So when you put it all together, from the raw power of fire and ice that forged the land, to the quiet resilience of the Ainu and the sheer grit of the pioneers who settled it, you realize Hokkaido is defined by this incredible, powerful spirit. It's a place that really rewards anyone with a sense of adventure. So I guess the only question left to ask is, what spirit will you discover there?